Number five. This one, number 5. Okay, so I'm going to cover some more, because after this, I'm going to cover some more. I'm going to discuss with you all the double angle formula and also compound angle formula. The compound angle formula is not here, okay? But I will add on some questions since some of you dah habis. Some of you mungkin pandai and you have found the answer by yourself. Very good, excellent, okay? That is a very, very encouraging thing to do, okay? Very good. So let's look at question number 5. So last week I was emphasizing on the technique of solving, or rather proving, okay? So when you do your questions, you must understand you have to refer back to your formula, okay? Now, I trust all of you have your formula with you, so which means I'm not going to show you the formula. You have the formula in your question anyway. So di sini nampak tak, the soalan, jawapan dia want sine, soalan dibagi tangent, and the question here gives you secant. So you're going to figure out what can you do. Okay, what can you do? Well, from the part of the formula that is not given to you, okay, dari bahagian formula yang tidak diberi, you have to understand that tangent we can change to sine over cos. So we change that. Tangent can change to sine over cos, okay? And then we have secant, okay? We have secant. Secant can become 1 over cos. Okay. So because I know that this can be changed, which means we're going to use it. We're going to use this. Okay. Because why? Nampak tak? The answer they want here contains sine only. Jawapan yang dia nak mengandungi sine sahaja. So, which means tangent tukar is appropriate, bersesuaian. Secant tukar jadi 1 over cos is also appropriate. Okay. So, which means now I can continue by doing this. So, soalan dia tangent theta plus secant theta bracket square. So I change 1 by 1. So bracket first because we have a fraction here. Yes. Okay. I think all of you are muted, right? Because we don't have some disruption. Okay. Tangent is sine per cos plus this is 1 over cos and then bracket square. Okay. So nampak tak? Now I have two fraction, dua pecahan. Ni aduh, siapa lah yang pakai ni? Okay, so what you have to understand now ialah sine per cos plus 1 over cos. Okay, so which means you can combine. Remember I said last week, kalau ada pecahan tunggal, one fraction you separate. If you have two fractions, you can combine. So I have sine per cos, I've got 1 per cos, I can combine. So when I combine these two, it now becomes sine theta plus 1, and down here is cos theta. Don't forget bracket square. Okay, digabungkan. Dua pecahan digabungkan jadi satu. Okay, jadi satu. Okay, what else? What else? Okay, now when you have a fraction with a square, you must square up and square down. Okay, so you square up. So when I square up first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write bracket sine theta plus 1 bracket square. Then yang bawah ialah cos when I square. Now remember, cos when you square, it becomes cos square theta. Okay, cos square theta. All right. Now, if you notice, remember the answer we want contains sine. 1 plus sine theta di atas. It looks like we have that, but there's a square on top. Don't worry about that. Yang bawah, you have 1 minus sine theta, but di bawah di sini lah cos square. No problem. So, going back to your formula. Yes, anything? Going back to your formula, remember your basic identity. We have already seen last week the basic identity ialah sine square plus cos square equal to 1. But this formula boleh disusun. If I arrange this formula, then we have cos square equal to 1 minus sine square theta, which is what we are going to use now. Okay, so now we ganti, right? So I replace this. That means at the bottom here, we have 1 minus sine square theta. And then on top here, we have sine theta plus 1 bracket square. All right. Do you also remember, this is all going back to what you learned last week. I also told you that when you do your proving, be prepared to use formula yang diorang belajar dari form 3. Contohnya, one of the formula ialah yang ni, x square minus y square. Kan? X square minus y square, bila kita factorize, you akan dapat x plus y, 1 bracket, and then x minus y, 1 bracket. Although now you're writing square for sine, okay, or cos, or even tangent. For example, you realize not yang bawah ini, at the bottom here, 1 minus sine square theta. When you factorize this, this becomes 1 plus sine theta, 1 bracket, and 1 minus sine theta, one more bracket. So you got two brackets. Okay, 1 minus sine square will give you two brackets. So if you understand this now, which means we can apply it here. So at the bottom, I got 1 plus sine theta and 1 minus sine theta. On top, I've got sine theta plus 1 bracket square. Okay, so can you see now kita boleh potong? We can cut. Okay, so what do I mean by potong or cut? Well, first of all, yang ni sine theta plus 1 bracket square, that means is 2 bracket kan? 2 bracket, okay? So when you potong, this one you cut, this one you cut. Potong. Okay? Sine theta plus 1 bracket square, 2 kurungan. So 2 kurungan, buang 1, bawah buang 1. So which means now the balance here is just equal to sine theta plus 1, and down here is 1 minus sine theta. And that's that. Okay? That's proven. All right. Got it? Who was it? Celine. Celine was the one that asked this question, number 5. Okay. Do you have any other problems that you have from last week punya kerja? If you got no problem, I'm going to continue. Okay, if you got no problem, I'm going to continue. E4. Okay. Somebody says E4. E4. Where's E4? E4, what do you mean E4? Yin Hui, what do you mean by E4? Oh, yeah, E, latihan E. Okay. All right, latihan E. Actually, okay, I'm going to do latihan E today. Okay? But before I do latihan E, okay, right, let's move on, okay? So for today, we are going to do double angle formula. Okay? Double angle formula. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, hang on. I think I better mute everybody because apparently some of you are muted, some of you are not muted, and it's disturbing some other people. Okay, all right. So let's look at your double angle formula. Okay, now for your double angle formula, what you have to understand is that we have got three main ones. One is for sine. Okay, now again, the formula you don't tak payah hafal. So for example, sine 2x equal to 2 sine x and then cos x. That's number 1. Yang pertama, okay? This one here is only one, satu saja. And then we have cos. Okay, I write 2x, it can be a, doesn't matter, okay? Sometimes you will see dia tulis sin 2a or sin 2 theta, benda sama. Okay, now the next one here we have is cos. Okay, cos 2x. Now the problem is for the cos 2x, terdapat 3 jenis. There are 3 variations, okay? The first one is cos square x minus sin square x. That's the first variation. Okay, and then there's another one, yang kedua, because cos 2x got 3 versions. So the first version is cos square minus sin square. The second version we have is 2 cos square x minus 1. Second version. The third version is something similar but terbalik. The third version is 1 minus 2 sin square x. This is called double angle formula. Okay, for sin 2x, cos 2x. And then we also have double angle formula for tangent 2x. Okay, the tangent 2x here will be 2 tangent x over, at the bottom is 1 minus tangent square x. Okay, now of course, if you want to memorize, you could do so, but it's not compulsory. The formula will be given to you in the exam. Okay, all you have to learn to do is how to use it. The only one that is difficult here is the cos, because cos got 3 versions, 1, 2, 3. Sometimes you may use the second version, or the first version, or the third version. It depends on the question. Okay, so let's take a look at your question. Maybe some of you might have tried and you already found your answer. Just now, Yin Hui said question number 4, I'll get there. Okay, let me just get started first so that everybody has a chance to see how we want to apply the formula. Okay, so in the contoh yang dia bagi. Okay, so now you already understand that when we do proving, the one on the left is your question. You take from the big one and then you condense. Okay, so the one on your right is your answer. So now you already know this is your question and this is your answer. Okay, so I'm going to start with the question. So starting with the question, we have 1 minus cos 2a, at the bottom is sin 2a. Okay, and the answer I get must be tangent a. Okay, now again, there are simple techniques, simple clues that you need to use. Okay, so for example, in this question here, can you see not yang paling senang nak ganti? Without any question, without any hesitation, you should know that the easiest to replace is the sign. Because sign 2A only got one. Cuma ada satu. Okay, sign 2A only got one. So which means I replace the sign 2A, so I'll get 2 sine A and then cos A. Okay, the top you have 1 minus and then cos 2A. We know the cos 2A boleh ganti. Okay, but what am I going to use to replace? Well, that all depends on what we need to get or what the question wants. Okay, so you have got 3 formulas for cos. Nampak? You have got the 3 formula here. You've got number 1, number 2, and number 3. Correct? No? Okay, so from this 3 formula here, how do I know what I want to replace the cos 2A? Am I going to use number 1? Or am I going to use number 2? Or am I going to use number 3? What do you think? 1, 2, or 3? Okay, so when you apply the double angle formula, there's also simple clues to use or to look out for. Okay, right. Number 1. Okay, number 1. Okay, begini. How do I know whether it's somebody said number 1? Okay, but hang on. Before I tell you whether your answer is right or wrong, notice or not in this question here, there's a 1. Okay, there's a 1. But in the answer, we only want tangent A. The 1 sudah hilang. Boleh faham tak? Okay, the 1 sudah hilang. So which means, right, what I'm trying to say is that we need to hilangkan the 1. So the most effective way to hilangkan the 1, okay, the most effective way to make the 1 disappear is we need to use the correct formula. Okay, we need to use the correct formula. Okay, so what do I mean by using the correct formula? Well, I'm going to use number 3. Not number 1, but number 3. When I replace the number 3 formula here, bracket because tolak kan. So number 3 ialah 1 minus 2 sine square x. Boleh faham? Okay, so again, kenapa pakai the number 3 punya formula? Because when you buka the kurungan, can you see from here, this is 1 minus 1. So 1 minus 1 becomes 0 kan? We want the number 1 to hilang. Okay, we want the number 1 to hilang because the answer does not contain 1. The answer only contains tangent. So in this case here, when I expand the top, yang bawah no change. It is still 2 sine A and then cos A. On top now, 1 minus 1 becomes 0. Okay, and then negative become positive. So 2 sine square. It's A. Okay, sine square A. Somebody asked for A. Yes, it's A. Okay, so 2 sine square A because 1 minus 1 becomes 0. Okay, so now can you see not again as I said, the reason we chose this formula number 3 is because we want the 1 to disappear. So when I choose the number 3 formula, the 1 minus 1 becomes 0. Dah hilang. Okay, and then to continue further, the 2 and 2 boleh potong atas bawah. Okay, and then sine square. Remember, sine square meaning got sine times sine. So if I cut away one sine from down here, and I cut away one sine from on top here, that means now the balance here will just be sine A on top and cos A at the bottom. Boleh faham? Potong. So again, some formula you have to memorize. Contohnya, you have to know by yourself, you have to memorize sine A over cos A because the formula is not given. So sine A over cos A, this will then be equal to tangent A. So which means it's then proven. Boleh faham? Okay. Not negative 2 sine. What will be negative 2 sine? No. It's not negative 2 sine. You know why? Look, when you open the bracket, jangan lupa negative become positive. Correct? Boleh faham? Okay. Some of you understand. Some of you perhaps you made a mistake. When you buka kurungan, that's why pakai the kurungan there. When you tolak something, sila pakai kurungan. So when you buka the kurungan, negative and the negative akan berubah jadi positive. Okay? Understand? Two of you were a bit confused. You were thinking that's negative 2. There's no negative 2 there. Negative 2 dah hilang jadi positif. Boleh faham tak? Okay? Alright, so sila betulkan. Okay? That is your contoh, the example. Okay? So today we're going to look at this double angle formula and then maybe even the half angle formula. I think just now somebody was asking about the half angle, but I'll get there. Okay, so that one done. Okay, that one done. Let me just check in with you guys. Are you guys all right? Okay, so are you guys okay?
Yes.
Any problem, Kenna? Okay, good.
我们是在手敲一粒粘上去，或者是拿这个重汤匙啊，挖一粒倒下去，挖一粒倒下去。
Okay, all right. Okay, no problem, right? X is A, right? Yes, it's A. Okay. Y sine 2, sine square and sine A is the same. Y can tolak. Can tolak, bukan tolak. Bukan tolak, potong. Potong. Bukan tolak. Okay, here let me explain. You see ya, yang ni kita buat trigonometry. So mungkin ada kekeliruan sedikit. Bukannya tolak potong. Contohnya, you faham tak if I say X square per X, kan? X square per X. So sebenarnya kita boleh potong. Yang ni potong, yang ni potong. So jawapan dia jadi X saja. Boleh faham tak? It's potong. Okay, bukannya tolak. Bukannya tolak, it's potong. Okay, what we are doing now is potong. Okay. Okay, I will get there. Somebody's asked, some of you asking for this question, that question. So I'm thinking that you guys are already trying it on your own. Fine, I'll get there. Okay, so hang on, give me a minute. So let me just make sure that you guys understood this because somebody was having some confusion dengan dia. Okay, now again I repeat yang ni ialah sine square A. Okay, so you faham tak sine square A sebenarnya, sine square A ni sebenarnya ialah sine A darab dengan sine A. Boleh faham? It's just like X times X become X square. So sine A times sine A, kita tulis sebagai sine square. Okay. Tapi dekat bawah tadi, you have sine A dengan cos A. Of course, 2 dan 2 kan atas bawah. So sebenarnya kita dah potong. 2 atas, 2 bawah potong. Sine A potong 1 di bawah, atas di bawah. So baki dia lah sine A over cos A. Okay. Orang tanya macam mana kita dapat tangent A sebab diorang kena hafal formula. Okay. Dari formula yang tidak diberi in the exam yang diorang kena hafal, formula dia ialah tangent A bersamaan sin A bahagi dengan cos A. Boleh faham? So yang tu ialah formula. Okay. Yes, I will do more examples. Okay. How do we know to choose which formula for cos 2A? Like I said, here I choose the number 3 formula because in front here got 1. To hilangkan the 1, you see, to hilangkan the 1, I choose this formula because 1 minus 1 becomes 0. If I choose the number 2 formula, 1, okay, minus negative 1, it becomes 2. So the 1 doesn't disappear. The 1 will not disappear. The 1 will still stay there. Boleh faham tak? Okay. Where can get this latihan? This latihan is sent in the group I sent last week. Okay, are you new? Okay, all right. Now, somebody was asking about question number 7. Number 7, you're talking about last week punya number 7 lah. Okay, last week punya number 7 quite simple. Why don't you try that first? Okay, last week punya lah samakan dia punya ni penyebut. I got to move on to today's one because I need to do double angle and half angle as well. Okay, half angle. But if I got time, I'll come back to that. Okay, so now let's do the next one pula. Okay, this one. Okay, now I know some of you are probably having some difficulty about knowing how to use the formula correctly because the cos is the most complicated. Because the cos got 3 versions. Okay, got 3 versions. How do I know nak pakai yang mana? Okay, let's look at this question number 1 pula. Okay, all right. So starting from your left hand side. Remember I said that most of the time, 80% to 90% of the time, you're going to start from your sebelah kiri. The big one, you're going to condense and make it become small. That'll be easier. Okay, so dari sebelah kiri, 1 minus cos 2a over bawah dia 1 plus cos 2a sama dengan. Okay, all right. So again, now nampak tak here we have got cos 2a dekat atas dengan cos 2a dekat bawah. Okay, so let me just enlarge this so you can see. So that means now I'm going to draw one line because there's a fraction. Okay, now on top we have 1 minus. At the bottom got 1 plus. I'm going to pakai a bracket dekat atas dan bawah because kita kena gantikan. So here's my question. Okay, on top here is cos 2a. Which formula do I use? Number 1, number 2, or number 3? Remember, you see in front there got 1. We want to hilangkan the 1. Okay, so for the top one, to hilangkan the 1, yes, you pakai number 3. You pakai yang number 3. You pakai 1 minus 2 sine square A. Because when you open the bracket, this 1 in front here, you nak hilangkan the 1. Boleh faham tak? You nak hilangkan that 1. Okay, but what about the bottom? The bottom here, are we still going to use 1 minus 2 sine square A? Now you fikir, if I pakai 1 minus 2 sine square A, you faham tak? This 1 and this 1 will tambah. So 1 plus 1 becomes 2, right? We don't want the number. Yes, so we use the correct formula, so which means, right, you cannot use the number 3. The correct formula here for you to use ialah 2 cos square A minus 1. The number 2 punya formula. Kenapa? Because atas punya kurungan, when you buka, this number 1 akan hilang. The bawah punya, when you buka the kurungan, this number 1 akan hilang. We want to hilangkan the number 1. Boleh faham tak? Okay. Now, in case some of you cannot see that, let me go slow a bit. So, sama dengan, and then over here, I'm going to draw the long line for the pecahan. Because we have one fraction on top and the bottom. Di atas, when you buka kurungan, nampak tak? 1 minus 1 plus 2 sin square A. Again, negative, negative, positive. Yang di bawah, when you buka the kurungan, 1 plus 2 cos square A minus 1. Okay, understand? All right. So what we do now is when you hilangkan, can you see it on here? We have got 1 minus 1 becomes 0. Okay, this one, 1 minus 1 also becomes 0. Okay, so apa yang tinggal? What's the balance? The balance now we have on top will be 2 sin square A. At the bottom, we have 2 cos square A. Okay, yang mana yang patut potong, we can potong. So for example, now nampak tak? Atas 2 potong. Now it doesn't matter, there's a sin square there, don't worry. Atas sin square, bawah pun sin square. You already know that sin divided by cos will give you tangent, kan? Okay, sin per cos memberi tangent. Except that now atas ialah sin square dan bawah ialah cos square. So kalau sin per cos become tangent, that means sin square over cos square, then this will give you tangent square A. So that's done. Understand? Okay, this is how we want to know whether to use the number 2 formula or the number 3 formula for the cos 2A. Boleh faham? Okay, so it's not that complicated. This is called double angle formula. Normally double angle formula is easier to use, lebih mudah digunakan compared to your double cos A. What do you mean cos A? Yong Sin, what do you mean by cos A? Okay. Second question. Oh, okay. All right. You're asking for the second question. Okay, hang on. Because you randomly ask a thing, I don't understand what you're talking about. Okay, boleh faham kan? Okay, so I think that one is not that complicated. You guys can follow along with that. That's good. Okay, now I'm going to move on. Okay, some of you have already tried some by yourself and you probably stuck here or there. Never mind. Don't worry. Like I said, it's meant for me to go through with you all. Okay, so somebody already, Yongsin already went to the second question. Okay, fine. Okay, or maybe you tried it by yourself at home. I do not know, but whatever the case, that's good. So now, question number 2. Okay, question number 2. So for question number 2, we are now looking at this. Okay. Now, we know I need to start from the left-hand side. This is 1 plus cos A, bawah dia ialah sin A. Okay. Now, what formula am I going to use? Okay. Now, remember I told you that we have a formula called double angle formula. Okay. So now let's come back to the formula. I want you to relate this formula to something else. Okay. So what I've wrote, whatever I wrote here, this is called double angle formula. Okay. Double angle formula. All right. Now, I also want you to understand that sebenarnya there is another formula. Okay, there is another formula. Okay, kejap. Don't be so fast to pick a formula first because you know why sebenarnya there's something else. Okay, selain double angle formula, you faham tak? There's another formula here. Okay, remember, I'm going to use the formula from tadi. Okay, so just now the double angle formula, just bear with me. From here we see that sin 2x equal to 2 and then sin x lepas tu cos x, betul tak? Okay. Now, notice or not, this is 2x, yang ni x, yang ni x. Okay, so 2x, yang 2x, yang 2x. So which means, right, based on this understanding, we can actually modify a bit and use the formula in a different way. So kalau sin 2x sama dengan 2 sin x plus times cos x, okay, we can use the formula in a slightly different way. Okay, what do I mean? That means this formula here, if I say yang ni tukar jadi sin x, boleh faham tak? Sin x will now be equal to 2 sin x over 2 cos x over 2. Boleh faham? Okay, we change it. So this is why we call this the half angle formula. Okay, half angle formula. Sebenarnya double angle formula and half angle formula are related. Double meaning, can you see not? Yang ni X dan yang ni X, you double the X, you dapat 2X. Boleh faham tak? Okay, actually it's the same relationship. Half angle formula you separuhkan. So yang ni X, this is half X, yang ni half X. Boleh faham tak? Okay, that is the relationship. So which means, right, you do not need to memorize a separate formula because in the exam you are given the double angle formula. From the double angle formula, I can modify. Okay, so once again, if I modify, okay, let's just start from the top. Okay, if I modify the double angle formula and to get the half angle formula, maksudnya I can say instead of sine 2x, sine x equal to 2 sine x over 2 and cos x over 2. Boleh faham? That's one. And instead of cos 2x, I can say that cos x equal to cos square x over 2 minus sine square x over 2. But the cos got 3 versions kan? So first version. Second version ialah 2 cos square x over 2 minus 1. And the third version here is 1 minus 2 sine square x over 2. Boleh faham tak? Sebenarnya we just modify the double angle formula. So the angle we write is x over 2. Separuh. Boleh faham? Separuh. Okay. So when I look at this question, okay, hang on. Let me just make sure you guys understand the half angle formula. Okay, guys, you orang faham tak konsep half angle formula? The half angle formula, basically, you just take the double angle formula and then you separuhkan everything. You just half everything. Understand? Okay. There's no need to memorize it. But remember, in exam, they give you double angle formula. So you have to modify the double angle formula to pakai the half angle formula. So here's the question. How do I know when to use the half angle formula? How do I know whether to use it or not? Well, it depends on the question and it depends on what you want to find. So coming back to our question here. Okay. So can you see not from this question here, they give you, mana tadi? Okay. Nampak? Cos A and sin A, right? Tapi jawapan dia, the answer they want is A over 2. So because I see A over 2, that means I need to use half angle. Boleh faham tak? Half angle. Okay, so please refer to your double angle formula and you separuhkan everything. What do I mean? That means at the bottom here, okay, at the bottom here, we have got sin A. According to your double angle formula, sepatutnya sin 2A becomes 2 sin A and then cos A, right? Sepatutnya, based on your double angle formula. But now yang ni ialah sin A. So kita separuhkan. So if I half everything, that means here, it should be 2 sin A over 2 and then cos A over 2. Boleh faham? It's just like double angle formula, except that you separuhkan the angles, okay? You half the angle. So instead of A, it becomes A over 2. Understand? Okay. Now on top. On top here, we have 1 and then plus. I have to replace something. Okay. So it's cos A. So again, we want to hilangkan the 1. So you look back at your double angle formula. To hilangkan the 1, okay, to make the 1 disappear, because 1 plus, that means we have to use the second formula. Okay, some of you just now realize you have to use the number 2 for the formula. Yes, okay, somebody just mentioned second formula. So the second formula here for your cos second formula is supposed to be 2 cos square. Okay, it's supposed to be 2 cos square and then minus 1. Okay, but we write 2 cos square A over 2 minus 1. Okay, we pakai the A over 2, diseparuhkan. Again, why we choose the minus 1? Because the 1 in front here and the minus 1 at the back will become 0. So 1 minus 1 becomes 0. Understand this? Okay. So now when I continue further, okay, what I have here is on top, it just becomes 2 cos square A over 2. At the bottom, you have 2 sin A over 2 and then cos A over 2. So you have to hilangkan yang mana yang perlu dihilangkan. So maksudnya the 2 up and down boleh potong. You can cut these 2 away. Now remember, cos square, it means cos ada 2. Okay, bawah dia ada cos A over 2. So if I potong 1 cos A over 2, one of it buang, atas got 2 kan. So you throw away 1, baki lah cos. So if I go slow, You faham tak? Atas ialah cos A over 2. Bawah ialah sin A over 2. So cos A over 2, bawah dia sin A over 2. Now again, you have to memorize. Sin over cos is tangent. This is cos over sin. So it's terbalik. Okay. So cos over sin, that will give you cot A over 2. And that's that. Okay. That's how we find the answer. Okay. All right. Number 3 pula. Okay. Somebody's asking for number 3. Okay. Hang on. Let them process this first and then I'll continue number 3. Okay, then I'll continue dengan number 3. All right. So, are you guys okay? It takes some practice to get used to the formula. Okay, untuk membiasakan diri dengan penggunaan formula. It's not very complicated. Okay, so like I said, yang ni istilah to teach you the idea, the existence of a formula called half angle formula. It's just like double angle formula, tapi semua angle diseparuhkan. So once again, instead of A, we are using A over 2. Okay. All right. Screenshot the solution for number 1. Number 1. Question number 1. Kejap. Where's number 1? Number 1 is this. Okay. That's your number 1. Okay. All right. Adriana, are you done? Okay. All right. So now I'm going to move on to number 3. Like I said, one of the most effective way is again to look at a question and see how it is being solved on the go. Okay. All right. Now, question number 3 pula. Okay. This is question number 3. Okay. All right. Soalan nombor 3. Okay. Once again, mula dari sebelah kiri. Dari sebelah kiri, soalan dia ialah 2 and then cot 2A. Sama dengan. Sebelah kanan, jawapan yang dia nak ialah cot A. Tolak dengan tangent A. So what do I do? Okay, yang ni got double angle. But remember, double angle only got 3. Sine, cos, tangent. Cot tak ada. Cot tak ada. Okay, so begini ya. You understand or not? Cot, from what you are supposed to memorize, cot is equal to cos over sine. That's one. But the second one ialah cot is also equal to 1 over tangent. Remember this? Okay, that is what you were supposed to memorize. Okay, but as I said, because cot ini ada dua pilihan. So am I going to choose the first one or am I going to choose the second one? First one or second one? What do you think? Okay, it all depends on what the answer wants. Okay, we pick the second one. Correct. Why? Okay, we pick the second one. We pick the second one here because the answer also contains tangent. I do not pick the first one. Okay. I do not pick the first one because the first one got cos and sine. I do not need cos and sine. Okay. So now I'm going to ganti. Okay. So now here I'm going to ganti cot become 1 over tangent. So on top is 2 over tangent 2A. Boleh faham? Sebab cot ialah 1 over tangent. Atas the 1 tak payah tulis because 2 times 1 is 1. Sorry, 2 times 2 is 2. 1 pula. Okay. So atas 2, bawah ialah tangent 2A. So kita ganti. Now again, I pick this formula because jawapan yang dia nak mengandungi tangent. Bukannya sine dan bukannya cos. That's why I don't pakai yang pertama. Now ganti pakai formula. So tangent 2A. Look at your double angle for the tangent. Okay, so this is 2 over, I'm going to copy the formula first. The formula for tangent 2A is 2 tangent A over, and then at the bottom there you got 1 minus tangent square A. Okay, all right, now moving on to the next part. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to flip it around. Can you understand or not that this one here sebenarnya ialah 2 multiply with 1 minus tangent square A over tangent A. Okay, kita boleh terbalikkan. Why am I allowed to turn it upside down? Because this one here is 2 divide by 2 tangent A over 1 minus tangent square A. Do you all remember? Ingat tak? Kalau kita bahagi dengan pecahan, that means terbahagi tukar jadi darab. Kalau bahagi tukar jadi darab, pecahan dia diterbalikkan. When you terbalikkan, it becomes 1 minus tangent square over 2 tangent A. Boleh faham? Terbalikkan. That's how from here I get this. Okay, just terbalikkan. Alright. Okay. Oh, hang on. I forgot one thing. There's a 2 here. Okay. So you terbalikkan. So once you terbalikkan, now the 2 and this 2 kita boleh buang. Okay. Buang the 2. So now you have 1 minus tangent square over tangent. Remember last week I said kalau pecahan 2 kita gabungkan, you combine. But now you got one single fraction. One single fraction we can separate. So this one fraction when you separate, okay, when you separate become 2 fraction, what you get now is you akan dapat 1 over tangent A tolak tangent square A over tangent A. I'm doing this one extra step so you can see what's going on. But actually, I do not need to write tangent square over tangent A because I know atas tangent square, bawah tangent A, you potong, you get tangent. Okay, but this is just for you to see. So 1 over tangent, that gives you cot. And then yang ni become tangent A. That's it done. Because tangent square, tangent, potong, dan potong. Okay, so when you cut everything away, then you got your answer. Okay, that is your question number 3. Are you clear? Instead of using tangent, can we use sine and cos? You can, but your steps might be a bit longer. I'm just teaching you, Adam, I'm just teaching you how to pick your formula effectively, okay? It doesn't mean that bukannya bermaksud you pakai yang ni tak boleh dapat jawapan. Boleh dapat jawapan. Bezanya ialah maybe your steps end up becoming longer. Or maybe your steps end up becoming more complicated. Okay? Because if I pick this one, right? If I pick this one here, that means now, imagine this, okay? Don't do this, I'll just show you. If you pick this, right, you will get 2 over, and then it becomes cos 2a over sine 2a. So you have more problem. You know why I say? Because then you have to decide for the cos ni pula which formula to pakai. Because sine we only got 1. So you're adding on to your problem. Understand this? Okay, so that's what I mean. So if you pakai yang ni, lebih susah, lebih complicated. So I go straight to the point. It's easy that way. Why you want to do so long? You do panjang-panjang pun tak guna because the number of marks sama saja. Whether long or short, you get the same marks. Okay, what we want to emphasize on is straight to the point, direct to your answer. Okay, direct to your answer. Okay, so any problem with that? Are you okay?
你没有跟我讲。
请回去，我跟你信。
Slowly, sir.
Boleh, boleh. Okay, you know why? Because sometimes after you have gone through everything, you have to go back and you have to look back at your questions again. Okay, you have to look back at the questions and the solution again. Okay, that's it. Because as like I said, you need to get used to it. That's why I don't want to go too fast. I'm checking in on you and see whether you faham ke tak faham. I know some of you mungkin dah habis semua. Doesn't matter. Okay, because there's still some more formula I need to explain to you. Okay, all right. So I tell you what, maybe I'll just do one more question from here because I will leave one more for you to try by yourself later. Kalau you tak siap lagi, okay? And then later on after that, I'm going to do with your double angle formula. Okay? I'm going to do the double angle formula. All right. So let's move on. Okay. Now I'm going to pick up one more question here. So the other question I'm going to do ialah question number 4 because number 4 nampak panjang, okay? Nampak panjang, it looks long. Biasanya pelajar akan fikir yes, correct. Rishi, question number 4, okay? Because number 4 nampak panjang. So the number 5 I won't do. Number 5 I leave for you to do. Never mind, take your time and do number 5, okay? Because to be fair, you all need to try and do a few by yourself, okay? So question number 4 I will do because nampak complicated, okay? Normally, when students see a soalan yang nampak complicated, the first thing come to your mind ialah susah, tak boleh buat. Tapi tak semestinya. Okay? Alright. Anyway, mula dari sebelah kiri. Okay? From your left-hand side. So we have here sine A plus sine A over 2. Bawah dia ialah cos A over 2 plus 2 cos square A over 2 and then sama dengan. Of course here, I'm going to draw a line for the fraction. Okay? All right. Now, how am I going to judge which formula to use? Okay? Now, for this question, right, it's a bit unique. You know why? Look at the answer they want. The answer they want contain A over 2. Okay? The answer they want contain A over 2. Even the question also contains A over 2, A over 2, A over 2. Semuanya A over 2 except this one, right? So this is a clue in the question itself to tell you to use half angle formula. Okay? To use half angle formula. So what do I mean? That means everything here will remain the same except for the sine A. So let me just write that out first. So imagine this, if I leave everything the same, maksudnya yang ni ialah cos A plus 2 cos square A over 2. On top here, we have sine A over 2. Nampak? I ganti everything except the sine A. Okay? Because remember, when you use your half angle formula, sine A is equal to 2 sine A over 2 cos A over 2. Okay? Half angle formula. As I said, kalau 2A, it will be 2 sine A cos A. If it's sine A, using your half angle formula will be 2 sine A over 2 and then cos A over 2. Half angle maksudnya semua yang A become A over 2. Okay? Alright, so I've done that. That's number 1. Number 2, how to continue. Okay? Now, notice or not, when you look on top here, okay, you have to be observant a bit. What I mean is this. Nampak tak? Yang ni ialah sine A over 2, yang ni pun sine A over 2. Let's make it more obvious lah. This one here is sine A over 2, yang ni pun sine A over 2. You faham tak dia the same? Okay, that's on top. Yang bawah, at the bottom here we have cos A over 2, yang ni pun cos A over 2, except it's square lah. So what I'm telling you now is yang atas, the green color one, we can factorize. And the bottom, the green color one pun boleh factorize. Okay, so if I factorize the top, and then I factorize the bottom. Okay, I factorize. So which means now, this one is, I take out sine A over 2. Okay, keluarkan sine A over 2. When I take out sine A over 2, balance will be 2 cos A over 2 plus 1. Boleh faham? Okay, so the first one, you take out sine A over 2, baki dia 2 cos A over 2. Then plus, belakang dia, take out sine A over 2, baki dia lah 1. Okay, and then after that, there's a fraction. Okay, fraction. At the bottom, yang bawah, I said yang sama ialah cos A over 2 kan? So, when you take out the cos A over 2, what's the balance? Okay, so cos A over 2 take out, your balance here will be 1. And then plus 2 cos square A over 2, when you take out cos A over 2, you faham tak baki dia ialah cos A over 2? Because cos times cos ialah cos square. Boleh faham tak? Okay. So why am I factorizing it this way? Because now after I factorize, can you see not the bracket on top and the bracket at the bottom, they are the same. Okay. The two brackets are the same. Because the two brackets are the same, yang ni kita boleh potong. So when you dah potong, atas baki dia sin A over 2, bawah baki dia ialah cos A over 2. Do you not remember that sin over cos? What is that? Okay, again, as I said, these are things which you guys are supposed to memorize. So atas sine A over 2, bawah cos A over 2. So sine over cos will then not give you tangent and then A over 2, and that's done. Okay, so yes, looks complicated, but actually it's not. Okay, so you have to be aware that for this question to be done, we need to use the half angle formula. Only one on the sine A. And then you factorize. Lepas dah factorize, you potong. And then you finish up. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. 3 steps, 3 langkah. Okay, 3 steps here. It's not very complicated. All right, so that covers the proving for this one. Okay, all right. Now, as I said, I can't spend too much time doing proving, but this is just to explain to you your basic identity formula from last week, and now I'm doing with your double angle formula. Okay, but sebenarnya there's another formula I need to do with you. It's called the compound angle formula ataupun formula sudut majmuk. Okay, all right. Now, for the compound angle formula, I will choose a different example, but it's not here. Okay, but before that, let me just make sure that all of you are all right. Okay, are you okay? Alright, so again, kita dah lihat penggunaan dua formula. Okay, we have looked at the double angle formula and we have also looked at the basic identity. Tapi the next part I need to do with you is compound angle formula. Now, compound angle formula, I won't do proving because you have to understand, compound angle formula needs more on drawing triangle. Dia lebih kepada melukis segitiga, drawing your triangle. Okay, so what do I mean by drawing triangle? Okay, I'll show you. Okay, it's more on drawing triangle. It's very, very rare that you are asked to do a question which is involving proving. Okay, so this one here, you may need to copy down first because I will only do one or two. Okay, and I didn't give to you all because I'm going to continue. This is related to the calculation part. Yang ni berkaitan dengan bahagian pengiraan. Okay, so if you remember, you guys have learned this in your Form 4 mathematics, trigonometry. So we have to come back to this because it's berkaitan. Okay, so in your Form 4 maths, you orang belajar circle ada 4 sukuan. You've got 4 quadrants. Okay, so quadrant number 1, quadrant number 2, quadrant number 3, and quadrant number 4. Now again, this one you have to memorize, of course, because this is from your maths. Okay, now we know that each quadrant I can draw its own angle. So contohnya one angle here, or you know what, to make it easy lah, so I draw one here and I draw one more line here. Okay, I draw one more line here. Please understand the lines I draw here basically means this angle is theta, yang ni pun angle theta, yang ni theta, dan yang ni pun angle theta. The angle theta in English we call this basic angle ataupun principal angle. In BM dipanggil sudut asas. Okay, because setiap sukuan ada formula dia tersendiri. So for example, in the first quadrant the formula ialah theta. Second quadrant the formula is 180 minus theta. Third quadrant 180 plus, correct? And the fourth one
360 minus theta.
Minus theta, correct. But you guys also got to understand that each quadrant, right, is unique in its own way because you remember you got this abbreviation A, S, T, and C. Remember? A, S, T, and C basically means, okay, that A ialah all values are positive. S maksudnya cuma sign yang positif. Kalau cos tangent, ialah dia negatif. Okay. Yang ketiga ialah tangent saja positif. So again, if you cannot understand, you see, we have sine, we have cos, we have tangent. Okay, you have to understand that sine is positive in number 1 and number 2, tapi negative in number 3 and number 4. That's for sine. Okay, that's for sine. Okay, can you guys please mute yourself? Somebody is not muted. Okay, so cos. Cos positive is number 1 and number 4, whereas negative is number 2 and number 3. Okay, number 2 and number 3. Whereas tangent is positive in number 1 and number 3, negative in number 2 and number 4. Get it? Actually, I do not need to write the one in blue there. I'm just writing it down because some of you tak faham how to pakai ASTC. Tapi yang ni sebenarnya bukan NMaths, it comes from your maths. Okay, everything that you have here comes from your maths. Okay, so now how are we going to do a question which involves double angle formula? Usually double angle formula melibatkan penyelesaian dengan menggunakan segitiga. So example. Okay, maybe I'll put it on top here. So example. Okay, this one here, you may need to copy this down because I did not include this in your work because I want to explain this using the ASTC. Okay, using the AST and C. All right. So let's say example, okay? Let's say you are given that cos A equal to 2/3 and sin B equal to -2/3. Okay? Maksudnya diberi cos A sama dengan 2/3 dan sin B sama dengan -2/3. Okay? All right. Then they say, okay, I'll tell you what. Maybe I won't use. I won't use this because this one here can be a little bit confusing because same number. I don't want to confuse. Okay, let's say lah, don't want cos. Let's say diberi sin A sama dengan 3/5. Okay, and the other one is given is sin B. Okay, sin B sama dengan 1/4. Let's do this first. Because the other one is now both are the same number, nanti you confuse pula. Okay, so 3/5 and 1/4. Okay, but they tell you, it continues, A is acute, B is obtuse. Okay, now bagi mereka yang belajar BM, so diberi sin A dan juga sin B. Acute maksudnya yang ni ialah sudut tirus. Obtuse maksudnya sudut cakar. Okay, acute and obtuse. Okay, now you have to understand that this is very, very important because we need to know where is the angle A and B. Okay, where's the angle A and B? So remember, you have got your 4 quadrants. Okay, we have the 4 quadrant. So if I draw the 4 quadrant here, I need to know where is A and B located. Because only when I know where the A and B located, then I can use the formula effectively. So A is acute. Now again, for some of you who did not learn your trigo properly in your form 4, sudut tirus ataupun acute angle, that means your angle here will be less than 90. Boleh faham? Kurang daripada 90. Contoh, acute angle 30 degrees, 60 degrees. Understand? Less than 90 degree. Obtuse ataupun cakar, okay? That means this will be less than 180. But of course, it must be more than 90. Boleh faham tak? Okay. Kurang daripada 180 tapi lebih daripada 90. So contohnya 150 degree. Yang tu ialah obtuse ataupun cakar. Another example, 120 degrees. Yang tu pun ialah obtuse ataupun cakar. Okay. So you already know that in trigonometry, when we label the angle is measured this way. 0, 90, 180, 270. Correct? Huh? Okay. So you nampak tak? A is acute, which means less than 90. So this tells us that the A, okay, is here. This is angle A. So yang ni angle A. We need a triangle. Okay. B is obtuse. That means more than 90, less than 180. So this tells us that the B is actually the angle for B is located here. Okay, that means this is angle B. Okay, this is angle B. Okay, so I'll do this first. Okay, so one way is by drawing. Sebenarnya there's a way to do it without drawing lah, but I will show you what I mean. Okay, so now what we have here is, okay, you see, if I complete this diagram, I got a triangle here, right? I have a triangle here. So A, dikata sin A is 3/5. So the question says sin A equal to 3/5. Remember your SOHCAHTOA? Okay, so sin is OH. So going to your triangle, I hope you understand where is O and H. So yang ni ialah hypotenuse, angle A depan ialah O dan yang ni ialah A. Okay, so this means that the O number is 3, the H number is 5. That means your A number here will be 4. Do you have you memorized your 3, 4, and 5? 3, 4, 5. Okay, 3, 4, and 5. Understand this? Okay, that's 3, 4, and 5. Okay, and then after that, there's also B. Okay, for the B, what we are told is sin B equal to 1/4. Nampak? Sin B sama dengan 1/4. So likewise, sin ialah, okay, nama. Sin ialah O dan H. That means for this triangle here, okay, for this triangle here, you have to understand that this is H, this is O, and this is A. O is always in front of your angle. Okay, so O number is 1, H number is 4. If you want to find A, you can find, but because now there's no triple for 1 and 4, I tinggalkan dulu. Most likely tak payah cari. Okay, all right. So now what we want to do here is that using the value given, okay, dari contoh yang dia bagi, soalan dia kata first one ialah find, okay, find sin and then A minus B. Sin A minus B. This is where we use the compound angle formula. Okay, so if I want to find sine A minus B, maksudnya kita kena rujuk formula. Okay, so if you look back at your formula, do you notice or not the formula for sine A plus minus B equal to sine A cos B plus minus cos A and then sine A. This is the formula. But why do I write both here? Because I want you to understand the plus minus maksudnya when here is plus, yang ini pun plus. When this is minus, then yang ini pun minus. Boleh faham? Okay, it follows. Okay, it follows. So now in this question here, can you see or not? I know this is the formula, tapi soalan dia, the question is minus. So when this is minus, that means yang ni pun minus. Boleh faham? Yang tu pun minus. And then you ganti saja. You ganti based on what you already know. So for example, nampak, this is sine A. Sine A is 3 over 5. Multiply cos B. What is cos B? Okay, no problem. Cos B. So B is 1 over 4. Oh, here is a problem. Okay, here's a problem. We need to calculate because we don't have the cos B. Because the B angle is over here. Nampak? This is the B angle. Okay, no problem. We can count. So if you remember your Pythagoras formula maksudnya panjang yang ni, this one here will be 4 square minus 1 square and square root. Do you remember your Pythagoras formula? Okay, 4 square is 16, 1 square is 1, so 16 minus 1 will give you 15. So yang ni ialah square root 15. That's your A. Okay, that's your A. So from this triangle here, from the blue triangle, because B kan, so B ialah cos B, cos ialah A dan H. So A ialah square root 15 over H ialah 4. Okay, and then minus cos A from your triangle here, this is A, so cos ialah AH, maksudnya 4/5. Sin A is given to you as 3 over 5, and then you multiply. Okay, see whether you can follow or not. If you cannot follow, if you think I'm going too fast, I'll slow down a bit more. Okay, so this is what you have to understand. This is what you have to do. Okay, boleh faham tak? Guys, do you understand the last part? Compound angle formula.
When the cos B down there.
Yeah, you know why? Because Ramai pelajar got problem knowing the triangle. Because you know why? You have to use back your Pythagoras formula. Okay, I tell you what. Maybe I will do. I tell you what. Maybe I will do a simple example because I think this example might be a bit more complicated. That's why some of you mungkin tersangkut. Okay, let's try something simpler. Okay, let's try something simpler. Okay, I tell you what, let's forget about this. Okay, let's forget about this first. Okay, now let's try something simpler. Do I have enough time? Oh, not enough time. Okay, never mind. In that case, let me modify this. Okay, so let's say I don't want to use 1 over 4. Don't want. Okay, I don't want to use 1 over 4. Let's say I change it. Let's say sine B is sine B. Okay, let's say sine B is 3, 4, 5, and the other one is you can use any of the Pythagorean triples. So let's say 7 over 25. Okay, 7 over 25. Yes. Cos, what is the formula like sine is? Okay. Kejap. Your one is cos A sine A. What do you mean? Oh, yeah. This is supposed to be cos A sine B. I wrote wrongly. Sine B. Okay. Sine B. Okay, never mind. I will explain from the top. Okay, because you have to use this. Okay, never mind. Okay. All right. I tell you what. I'll just maintain the same lah. Since some of you already got that part. Okay, so here 1 over 4, right? Okay, now look. See beginning. Let's start dengan yang A dulu. Okay. So for the A, you are given sine A ialah 3 over 5. Okay. Please don't change to decimal. Because normally when this kind of question is done, they ask you to do without calculator. Okay. So earlier asked me, can I change to decimal? Don't. biasanya it will be without the use of calculator. Okay, so all right. So from here, okay, we have to label first. Okay, so remember they give you that sin A sama dengan 3/5. So you have to know SOH, CAH, and TOA. So sin ialah OH. That's why here I wrote O and H, correct? Then I label the green triangle. So the H is the hypotenuse. So yang ni ialah H, tahu kan? Yang ni ialah O in front of the angle A, and then yang ni ialah A. So based on my OH here, di mana O number is 3, so O number is 3, H number is 5. You are supposed to memorize 3, 4, and 5. So I have on the green triangle, I have 3, I have 5. That means this will be 4. 3, 4, 5, right? Okay. Now I'll go slow with this triangle. Okay. The hard part now is the blue triangle. Okay. The blue triangle here, what is given to you is sin B equal to 1/4. So since now sin B equal to 1/4, I label first. Once again, sin ialah OH. Okay, label the blue triangle. The blue triangle here is yang ni hypotenuse. Okay, angle B in front ialah O, sebelah dia ialah A. So for the blue triangle, the O number is 1, hypotenuse number is 4. Okay, right? Okay, sudah. All right, so now what happens is that I can find this panjang, I can find this length. Because you can pakai your Pythagoras formula. Remember your Pythagoras formula, A square sama dengan B square plus C square. A is always hypotenuse. So from the blue triangle, can you see now A ialah 4. So 4 square, all right? The B, say for example, I pakai yang ni A, yang ni B, yang ni C kan? So kalau begitu, this will be B square plus 1 square. 4 square is 16, yang ni B square plus 1 square lah 1. Pindah, so become 15 equal to B square. So maksudnya B ialah square root 15. Boleh faham? That's why here, this panjang ialah square root 15. Okay, square root 15. Understand? Don't want to pakai perpuluhan. Because usually for this kind of question, you kena buat tanpa calculator. They'll be telling you to do it without the use of calculator. Okay, so now sebenarnya from the green triangle, I can also find cos. Okay, we don't put a negative first. That one all depends on, you know why? We don't want to put a plus minus first because why? Remember I said ASTC, right, will tell you which one is positive or negative. Okay, contohnya, bear with me. Now, the green triangle, if I continue, you faham tak, I can find cos A for the green triangle. Cos bagi A ialah AH, cos kan, AH. So A number ialah 4, H number is 5. This two here is for this green triangle. Boleh faham? Okay. Now the blue triangle. Okay. We already know for the blue triangle, the blue triangle, we already know sin B equal to 1/4, right? That's your blue triangle. But from the blue triangle, I can also find cos B. Cos ialah AH. Can you see from the blue triangle that A is square root 15 over H is 4. Okay, but these are important. Negative. Okay, you know why negative? Because for second quadrant kedua, sukuan kedua, sin nilai dia positif. Cos yang ni nilai dia ialah negatif. Boleh faham? Okay, that's why I put a negative. So that's why you have to come back to this. Nampak tak? Yang ni sukuan kedua kan? Second quadrant. Cos second quadrant value is negative. Okay, sukuan kedua cos ialah negative. So because of that being negative, here I need to put a negative. Okay, and then the formula you tak payah hafal. So you take the formula from here. So formula dia bagi sin A minus B ialah sin A cos B and then minus cos A sin B. Now you replace one by one. Okay, so can you see now here? What do we have here? Okay, so sin A is 3/5. Cos B is negative, and then square root 15/4 minus cos A. Where's cos A? Cos A ialah 4/5, and then sin B is 1/4. Okay, 1/4. So because you are doing it without calculator, that means here it will have, I will get negative 3 square root 15 over 20 minus, this is 4 over 20. You combine, become one fraction, you get negative 3 square root 15 minus 4 over 20.
Sir,
Yeah.
you said this question, they said don't use calculator, or like the invigilator actually
No,
watch.
when they say don't press calculator, it means that you must show working.
Oh, okay.
Get it? Whenever they say do not use calculator, that means working is important. Because some students ask me this, how do they know that you press calculator or not? Very simple, by looking at your working. Okay, so that was why the double angle, the compound angle formula here I kept for last. Because yang ni, this formula is more towards calculating rather than proving. Proving, you need to make sure you know two things, basic identity first and double angle formula. The compound angle formula, there are some questions yang melibatkan proving, but very, very rare. Most of it will involve calculation, penggunaan segitiga. Okay,